My dad met Ashley 9 months after my mom passed. He told me that they were actually married, not just dating.
So her claim was that while she was pregnant with their daughter, he poisoned her through heavy metals.
They disproved all of the allegations like every other time, but that started the real problems between Ashley and Doug.
He's saying the neighbor came over, female neighbor. It was a domestic. She shot her husband.
We are still looking ahead to this big trial that we're following out of Florida, the Black Swan murder trial.
The defendant, Ashley Benefield, is accused of killing her estranged husband, Doug Benefield, in the middle, of a bitter child custody dispute back in 2020.
The ex-ballerina claims that she feared for her life and acted in self-defense, although a judge did deny her stand your ground claim during a hearing last year.
In that hearing held earlier this month, there were a handful of arguments heard from the defense, ranging from the exclusion of Benefield's mugshot during the trial to excluding child abuse allegations involving the Benefields.
But one of the more important motions was by the defense to exclude a 2018 trial ruling in the Benefield's divorce proceedings that characterized the defendant as lacking credibility. To bring us up to speed on this case, here is our own Court TV anchor, Julie Grant.
Don't go out there, honey. Come on. I know.
September 27th, 2020, 28-year-old Ashley Benefield runs to a neighbor's house after shooting her estranged husband, Doug, in her bedroom.
She came in, she was quite hysterical. I didn't know who was banging on my door. It said that he attacked her and she shot him.
Doug Benefield was 30 years older than Ashley and a widower when they met in 2016. They quickly married after a whirlwind 13-day courtship.
I first heard about Ashley, it was a Friday after school. The next day I met her, and then the following day, it was a Sunday, he told me that they were actually married, not just dating.
Ashley was a former ballerina, and she and Doug founded a ballet company in Charleston, South Carolina, to train and to showcase new talent.
He was completely in love, completely supportive, starstruck.
But by the end of 2017, the ballet company was bankrupt. She was pregnant, and their marriage was falling apart. Ashley left Charleston and moved to Florida to live with her mother because of her morning sickness.
I was unable to take care of myself in any way. I was completely, I would say, bedridden.
Ashley was due in April of 2018. Doug had followed her to Florida, but she wasn't speaking to him. And he hired an attorney to try to help him find out if he could be with her for the birth.
To your knowledge, was Doug there?
No, he was not there. He had no idea the baby was born.
After their daughter was born, Ashley filed an injunction to try to keep Doug from seeing her. She claimed he had a history of violent behavior and accused him of poisoning her and their unborn child.
I believe he tried to harm my child while I was pregnant with her, and that leads me to believe that if he would try to end her life or harm her while she was in utero.
The motion was denied, and the family court judge blasted Ashley's claims that Doug had poisoned her.
There is not a single scintilla of credible evidence that Miss Benefield has ever been poisoned or suffered from any illness of any poison.
Over the next 2 years, Ashley appealed the court's decision and continued making allegations of abuse against Doug. They were both ordered to undergo psychological evaluations, the results of which were scheduled to be released 3 days after Doug was killed.
It is the state's contention that the defendant did not want this report to come out. It was not positive towards her. Her goal was to move to Maryland and start over with DCF and the police up there, and maybe someone would believe her.
The day he was killed, Doug was at Ashley's home to help her pack up a U-Haul for her move to Maryland. He was unarmed when he was shot twice, once in the leg and once in the chest. Ashley says she was acting in self-defense after Doug body-checked her 2 times, hit her with a box, and grabbed her arm.
Given what she knew on that day about Douglas Benefield, boy, did she have every reason to fear him, especially after he refused to let her leave her own home.
Ashley Benefield is charged with second-degree murder and could be sentenced to up to life in prison if she's convicted.
The trial for Ashley Benefield is expected to begin in July. Court TV will be there for that coverage. Joining us to discuss this case, trial attorney Krista Ramey still with us. Krista, self-defense cases can be tricky. What do you think is the strongest evidence that we saw in this piece that will support Ashley Benefield's claim that she was protecting herself?
So, there's already been she didn't get the case dismissed on standard ground, but she still can claim it, and she's in her own home. And so with the Castle Doctrine, when you're in your own home, you don't have to retreat. So you have that going for you. She will 100% have to take the stand. The marks on her body at arrest are really all she has. They're evidence he body checked her, and they're really not very many. They're just a few scratches, really not any bruises that were formed or anything that shows any kind of, physical violence that, a jury might say, oh, okay, I get it. Scratches that could have been gotten from anywhere are going to be really tough. I think this is going to be a very hard standard ground, self-defense case, even for Florida.
As we all know, a lot of trials boil down to pretrial motions and what is determined to be allowed in and not. And this piece really bothers me. I agree with the defense filing a motion to not allow a characterization about the defendant as lacking credibility in the divorce proceedings, because I would argue that a divorce proceeding, civil in nature, and whether or not you're credible is very different than in your own criminal trial where you have a right not to testify, to not incriminate yourself. And I just think that your credibility may come off differently, Krista, in those two different types of hearings.
I do, and I also think that the jury is the one that gets to decide credibility. There's a jury instruction on it. I don't think that a judge can allow that kind of evidence in that was made in determination in another case with a different jury, but not a jury, actually a judge, with a different set of facts. You're right on the facts, but I also think that the jury instructions and what we task jurors to do, I think precludes this from coming in.
The fact that they were estranged and we have all of these outside incidents between the two, even have that she accused him of poisoning her with metals, there's going to be this mudslinging really in a trial like this. But how much of that should come in? Should it just be, Krista, in your opinion, that you look at that moment, that day, or as we heard the defense attorney saying, in her mind, she felt that he was someone who would be dangerous. So even if in that moment he wasn't deadly dangerous, she still was perhaps reacting to what she knew about him in the past.
I think that you have to allow all of that in. I think that it has to come in, that the jury weighs it. It's not, whether or not that evidence is credible, the jury will weigh it. If it's hearsay, it won't come in. There's a lot of gatekeeping ways to keep this evidence out, but I think that you have to allow it in order to give the full picture of her state of mind and what she might be thinking at the time. So I think that you err on the side of allowing that defense to proceed just from a due process standpoint.
I think absolutely, I agree with Krista that it is her state of mind, what she's thinking at the time, Julia.
And the thing about these self-defense cases, Krista mentioned it, she's going to take the stand.
Yes.
She has to take the stand. She has already likely put all that out there during the standard ground hearing, and a judge didn't buy it, but a jury could look at things a lot different. They might just look at this couple and make a decision on what they think.
Great point, absolutely.